Dads, what's the dumbest thing your son has ever done because it was snowing? The first big blizzard of the year rolled in overnight, and my 8-year-old son, Caleb, treated it like Christmas, New Year's, and his birthday all rolled into one. He was plastered against the window at dawn, eyes wide, practically vibrating with excitement. My wife, Jenna, left for work with her usual warning, keep an eye on him, and shut the door. That was the last normal moment of my day. I'd barely poured my first cup of coffee when I heard the back door slam. Through the kitchen window, I saw Caleb sprinting into the yard in nothing but Spider-Man pajamas and socks. No coat, no gloves, no boots, just a kid fueled by pure snow fever. He scooped up 2 giant armfuls, cradled it like treasure, and came barreling back inside before I could even react. He tore through the living room, scattering snow chunks across the hardwood like breadcrumbs. He dropped the load directly onto the rug and yelled, "Dad! Now we can have snow inside too!" I stood there speechless, mug in hand, trying to process, but Caleb was already gone. By the time I got my shoes on and chased after him, he was sprinting back with round 2. That load went straight onto the couch. Round 3 hit the dining table. Round 4 covered the kitchen island. He was running a personal snow delivery service at breakneck speed, and I was the janitor on cleanup duty, trailing him with towels that were instantly soaked. Then came the grand finale. Caleb waddled in with round 5 and dropped it squarely in the middle of the living room. He knelt down, drenched socks slapping against the floor, and began shaping the piles with both hands. "I'm making an inside snowman," he announced proudly, patting away at what already looked like a melting polar bear carcass. His hair was dripping, his pajamas were soaked through, and his little face was glowing like he was creating a masterpiece for the ages. That's when I realized just how bad things had gotten. It wasn't just snow scattered around, it was melting, fast. Our living room rug was turning into a pond. Water crept across the hardwood like a tidal wave, soaking under the couch and dripping toward the good china cabinet. The cushions sagged under the weight of melting snow piles, leaving behind dark, wet patches. The dining table had a puddle running off the edge, and the kitchen island looked like Niagara Falls. I was on my knees, frantically tossing down towels, blankets, anything absorbent, but I couldn't keep up. The house was turning into an ice rink. Meanwhile, Caleb was completely oblivious, humming happily as he packed a half-melted snowball onto his sculpture. 20 minutes later, the disaster reached its climax. Jenna's car pulled into the driveway. She'd forgotten her laptop charger. The front door opened just as I was wringing out my 4th towel, and she stepped directly onto the slick entryway. Her feet shot out from under her instantly. She hit the ground with a thud, slid across the hardwood like she was auditioning for the Winter Olympics, and crashed into the wall. Her laptop bag went flying. She looked up from the floor, drenched, hair in her face. Did she yell at Caleb, who was standing there soaked and grinning next to his melting snowman? Number. Did she question why our home looked like a snow globe exploded inside it? Of course not. She glared straight at me and hissed, "How did you let this happen?" I was gone for 30 minutes. I sat there surrounded by soggy towels, puddles creeping under the furniture, and snow trails leading through every room. Meanwhile, Caleb proudly pointed at his creation. "Look, Mom, this blob is you, this blob is Dad, and this tiny blob is me." Jenna actually smiled. Caleb got praised for his art. I got blamed for turning our house into an indoor water park. Apparently when it snows, I'm the real natural disaster.